know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.
Miami Dolphins fans, welcome to another episode of Larry, Lucci, G, and Shake, man. We are out here discussing Miami Dolphins football. This season is chugging and rolling right along. 8-3 we are right now after drudging the New York Jets 34-13 in the inaugural Black Friday game. I was in the building. I'm not going to lie to you. I had a hell of a time last season. Now, we've won most times, and Joe, what's up? We've won most times over the past several years that I've gone to the game, and I've been going to that game since I was a little kid, the Dolphins-Jets game up here in New Jersey. We had our streaks where we were losing. We had our streaks where we were winning, and we've been winning quite a bit as of recent. So last year really smacked me in the face when, Tua was already out because I had just been at the Cincinnati game where he got knocked out in Cincinnati. I was there. So I come back. And I'm at the Jets game, and I'm tailgating, and Teddy B's playing, and, the way Zach Wilson was, I thought we had a good chance. And this is really before Breece Hall started to really take off. And I'm walking in the stadium. Before I even get into the stadium, they show the game on these big screen TVs. And Teddy B was already knocked out, and Skyler went in. Wound up being a decent game for most of it, but then we got pummeled at the end, and it was tough to take. It was tough to walk out of there that game, but that was last year. So this year, we got a little revenge. I showed up last minute, kind of wasn't sure if I was going to go or not. I was debating all season, it was expensive because, the Jets hype was at an all-time high preseason this year, and it was tough to make the decision, but last minute Christmas present, and I wound up getting to go to the game, rolled up to the game. Adam, what's up, my brother? Wound up getting to go to the game, and I had this jacket. I hope you guys saw. Lucci was talking about it just before backstage, but I had this vintage jacket, man, just like that satin, all white with the old school Dolphins logo and the aqua Dolphins written across the back, and nobody else had it. And I'm, getting compliments, this and that. I'm crushing a couple brews, and, you could just tell that. I'll tell you what, the Jets fans showed up to this game. Like, I was thinking they weren't really going to show up because prices started coming down for tickets leading up to the game. And I thought, look, they're down on their luck. They just got pummeled by Buffalo. They're not feeling up to it. But I showed up to that tailgate, and it was more packed. You can tell when a tailgate's going to be packed by how deep in the parking lot it goes early. And it was packed. And there was a lot of Dolphins fans. I'd say about 20%, 25% Miami fans in the building. And there were a lot of Jets fans, though, man. They had energy. They showed up. We walk into that building, and I'll tell you, it was a perfect 40 degrees, man. Like, crisp 40-degree weather, perfect football weather. Now it's cold in Jersey right now. Today it's like lower 30s. It's cold. But Friday it was perfect weather. And everybody had, you had your leftover Thanksgiving food at home you can get, and so, it's a good day all around. And I'm going into the game, and you're just feeling it for some reason, I sit down, and, first offensive play for us, Quinnen Williams makes a tackle in the backfield, but then it's a penalty, and the Jets were just sloppy all day with the penalties. I'll tell you what, they don't know what to call that end of the end of the first half. Hail Mary. They're saying the Fail Mary's already taken. Some people are calling it the Hell Mary. It's the Hell Mary up for the Jets fans, I guess. There's all different names going around, but let me tell you something, man. I promise you this. And this is something that, we could say it's got to change. We could talk about it. It's tough to talk about these things after a win because you don't want to hate on a team that played pretty well and things like that. But, at the end of that first half, we're winning 10-0. Now, the Jets have a good defense. It's cold. And Miami Kid says, I saw a lot of aqua. I thought it was 60-40. Nah, it wasn't 60-40. At the end, I'd say like there was a mass exodus of Jets fans in the third quarter when Miami got like a game-sealing touchdown. They had enough, and they started a mass exodus. I put a video up on this channel. Go check it out. Click the like button on it. Of the stadium at the end of the game. The end of the game, it was like all and only Miami fans. It's nothing but aqua. Earlier, though, I think the Jets, they had a decent showing. I've been in that stadium where it's been 70-30. I've been in that stadium when it's been really bad. That's in really bad years. The Jets fans already bought their tickets this year, and they weren't giving up. It was a primetime Black Friday game. I think people decided to come out. They had off the next day. What's the big deal? But there were a lot of Dolphins fans. Dolphins fans are always well represented in New York and New Jersey and at that game. And that's why I was talking to Shake, this guy, Evan Roberts, who's on the radio up here, was already complaining about the fact that he was surrounded by Dolphins fans when he went to the stadium. And he already knew he was going to be surrounded by Dolphins fans when he showed up, and he was. We were scattered throughout and had a good showing, but the Jets fans showed up early. But I'll tell you, man, we're up 10-0. The Jets have a good defense. It's a little chilly out. We're on the road. And I swear to God, I went to the game with my sister. I turned to my sister and I said, they better run this ball. And if you run this ball and you get 12 yards, you get 7 yards, you get a couple good runs, you get a first down, then you could maybe call a timeout. You give yourself some space and maybe you try to make a run. Or just kneel it right now. Because if the Jets have a very good punter, right? And he punted the ball to like the 13-yard line. And if he had punted it to the 45 or the 50, I would have said something different, right? But he punted it to the 13. I turned to, there I am. There's that jacket, man. There's that jacket. Look how I was out there, man. That was MetLife. That was me, man. Look at that. Had the hat on I bought in Davie, Florida. Yeah, I bought that hat in Davie, Florida when I was down there. That was greasy underneath. So dude came up to me like in the concession line. He's like, damn, you got that hat and that jacket. Tell me that's greasy underneath. Oh, that's greasy. Bro, I was dripping. And the dude, you could tell who's from New York or who's from Florida, man, because you're down there and the guys from around here are like, yo, dope jacket, bro. And then the Florida dudes come to me like, bro, you drip of the day. And you were like, you from Florida. It was fun, bro. Like you had Florida heads, Jersey, New York heads. It's always a blast. I hope my Florida heads get to make it up for one of these games because that's just dope, man. It's a fun time to have. I'll have you guys up here and we'll tailgate up here. It's not the same scene as Miami. Miami's got a nicer stadium, but it's still a lot of fun. But anyway, at the end of that half, I'm like, McDaniel and Tua better not get greedy because if they try going for it and racking up points at the half, it's the same thing that happened last week, getting greedy at the end of the half in a bad field position situation, trying to rack up points. And if Tua gets too bold and tries to force it, I told my sister, I'm like, we're going to get a turnover. I was like, they're going to get a turnover and they're going to let the Jets back into this game. Sure enough, bro, first play, Tua drops back, out route, pick six. And I'm like, I knew it. And I'm like yelling. I'm like, I knew it. Why can't they just not be so ridiculously aggressive? Then, after the Jets score, make it a game. They missed the extra point, of course. This is the Jets. 10-6. You guys saw it. They pick them off again because we're still being too greedy with it. After a couple good plays where I wasn't totally mad they were going for it at that point. Pick them off again, but this is where the New York Jets. If there's any team that can make a worse decision than we made right there, it's the New York Jets, man. They go for that Hail Mary with Boyle chucking that ball doesn't even reach the end zone. And I'll tell you this, I was pretty low and I was close to the end zone where Holland scored. So I'm looking at these guys. I'm looking at him run through these guys. And it looks like there's enough guys on the field to catch him. Only thing is, all the skill players he left behind in the end zone, which he said himself on his press conference. And Christian Wilkins is out in front mauling guys, knocks the crap out of Breece Hall, and then Holland just has to make a little double move on Boyle, and he stumbles and bumbles, and Holland is in. And from that point on, I think we really controlled the game. We ran the ball in the second half. We ran the ball. Mostert had 2 touchdowns at the end to seal the game. And that was with Armstead going out. I think he was banged up going into the game. You had Smith in there. You had Lamb in there. But we were still able to run that ball. And we ran the ball well. And you got to be able to run the ball well with the defense playing the way it is now. And in cold weather against, road teams and road games. And we did run the ball and it worked. And I gotta and Lucci got on me for this 2 weeks ago or last week. He was right because I said it in my post game, but I didn't say it on the show. Christian Wilkins, man. I mean, I think the debate's over. You got to lock him up. That forget about just the emotional leader. That kid is balling. He's balling. He's got sacks. He's wrecking offensive lines. He's playing he's playing at 150 miles an hour, 150% every play. I mean, he's a beast. He's a beast, Wilkins. You got to find a way to make it work with him. Because if you lose him, I think you lose a lot of the heart and soul of that defense. Now, big loss. There's no sugarcoating the loss of Jalen Phillips. That kid was balling out of his mind. Balling out of his mind. And he was all over the backfield against the Jets, blowing up plays left and right. And losing him is not going to be easy to overcome. We can do it. We're still okay, but it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. And that's why I've been saying for the longest time, don't start talking about, oh, once we get all these guys back, because other injuries are going to happen. Even when you get these guys back, there's going to be another injury, and we're going to have to account for that. That's the nature of the league. Now, I'm learning to really appreciate Mike McDaniel's management of injuries because you're seeing guys like I guarantee you when Robert Hunt comes back, he's going to be 100% rather than being 70% and gimping through a bunch of games. So I kind of admire that. I didn't think Achane should play. He didn't. How about Jeff Wilson? The speed and the brawn just running over people. We needed that. That was great. I loved what I saw from Jeff Wilson. I mean, I love the whole running game. I love the ground and pound. I love that defense so damn much. A Miami kid, Jay, says, Larry, what are your thoughts on this interception situation by Tua? To me, this stems from last year, just boneheaded picks. Can he fix this? He 100% can fix this. You know what I think this stems from? I think it stems from his mentality, right? And it's somewhat the head coach's mentality. That entire drive, and it was only the 2 picks at the end of the first half. Why were there 2 picks at the very end of the first half, but not in the rest of the game? I think it's obvious. I think McDaniel and Tua sometimes put too much on analytics, put too much on over-aggression on offense. Don't get greedy. You're on the road against a good defense. It's a little chilly outside. I'm not saying they're the best defense ever, but you're getting the ball after the half. You have a lead. You're shutting them out. Their best asset is their defense. Their best chance of scoring, getting back in the game is on defense. Don't give them a reason and a way to do it. I think Tua's interceptions are when he forces the ball. Now, you'll look at a lot of balls, and there was another ball to Jalen, to Waddle later in the game that you thought was going to be a pick, but Waddle came up with it and got a big gain. On second thought, I watched that. I rewatched this game. And rewatching the game and the film on it, it was actually a really great throw and a really great route. It only looked like the guy was going to intercept it because he was kind of late in recovering and got his hand close, but he really didn't have a chance. It was a good defensive play to even come close to getting back at it, but it was actually a good read, good route, good throw. But overall, you see a lot of throws where Tua, you're marveled by how he could squeeze it into Tyreek or somebody else between 3 defenders. What you have to understand is that in this offense, certain routes that look like they're covered when by the time the guy catches it because they're all coalescing around the receiver, he was actually open because of the timing of the route and the way that the defense is structured and the way that the route's designed to attack that particular type of defense, right? Other times, though, when Tua takes a look at something, reads the defense, and gets an inkling that it may not be the best route, or doesn't know because he didn't spend enough time looking at the second or third option, he's got to learn to chuck that ball away. You know, he tucks it sometimes and runs. Sometimes that's dangerous. He went head first again. I didn't like that. Puts himself in danger, or he takes a sack, or he throws a pick. I think Tua is a little overconfident in this system where this no-look stuff is awesome when it works, and when it doesn't work, it's disaster. He's got to learn to not be as... I love the confidence. I love the saltiness. I love the swag. But he's got to learn to tone that in and reel that in certain situations. You're in Miami. You're on the opposing team's 30-yard line. Man, pick a guy, let it fly, like Danny said to you. You know, you're up by 23 points at the other team's 40. Pick a guy, let it fly, bro. But if you're on the other team's 13 on the road against a really good opportunistic defense in the cold weather late in the year against a division rival, bro, if you don't see that first or second read open, throw that ball away. And Mike McDaniel, if you know your quarterback's strengths are into the middle of the field and you know where the weaknesses of the defense are and you've studied film all week, I know you have. We see you doing it on the show. We know you do that. And you're on the 13-yard line with a 10-0 lead, bro, go into halftime. You're getting the ball back after the half. Don't call a play that puts Tua in danger and at risk of committing a turnover. Don't do that. And Miami Kid Jay, those boundary throws need zip and great anticipation. He's a great anticipator, but lacks arm strength for that particular throw. His strength is in the middle. That's also fair. That's a fair analysis. Tua's strengths will never be that outside, that out route with all that zip. Now, he can complete those passes. We've seen him do it. But it's got to be open. It's got to be the right type of play. It's got to be the right situation in the game against the right defense in the right, down and distance in the right part of the field. You can't expect him to complete those zippy throws. He's going to lollipop some of them. That just is what it is. I think he'll be okay. But I do think that as we go into December, a few things are going to be important for this team, right? Now look, first of all, you can't, and I'll be honest with you. I'm a Dolphins fan my whole life. I can't get down with this. We already won the division. We're a shoo-in. I don't start with that. Yeah, we're in a great position. We're 2.5 games up on the Bills. If we win this week when they're on bye, we're 3 games up on. That's a great place to be. That's a great place to be. But remember, we play them the last game of the season. So all it takes is 2 losses by us and them to keep winning, which they have a really tough schedule. Don't get it twisted. But just 2 losses if they keep winning. And that last game is for the division because they're going to own the tiebreaker if they beat us twice. So don't get complacent. And the team better not get complacent. I'm not worried that they will. But, us as fans, hold your trash talk till the season's over and we actually mathematically win the division. Because you're going to regret it if something happens. I'm just saying. Don't start talking. I don't like that. But we have games against teams we should beat. Washington. Remember, it's on the road. If it's as cold as it is today, it could be a little bit rough on us. You got Tennessee. It's a Monday night. I think there's like a doubleheader Monday night game. We should win that game. But that's 2 road games. That's some road games. And then you got the Jets at home. The Jets are going to be looking for vengeance. They're a division rival. I don't care who their quarterback is. Should we beat them? Yes. Is it guaranteed? No. So get ready for this stretch because then after those 3 games, if we succeed and we don't drop the ball, then you got a real gauntlet a little bit. You got Dallas at home. Then you got to go to Baltimore, which Baltimore is the new media darling. I don't care about the media anymore. I actually rather be flying under the radar the way we're flying under the radar right now. I think we play better when we're under the radar. I think you sneak up on people better that way. Baltimore's a new darling, probably because they've been there before. They've done it before. We haven't in so long. But you got to go to Baltimore. That's not going to be easy. It's going to be cold. They're going to be loud. Then you come home for the Bills. So what does this team need to do to come out with a good record out of that remaining schedule, win the division, and maybe even have a chance at the top seed, which is going to be hard because Kansas City's schedule is so easy. Kansas City has a very easy schedule. I think it's going to be hard to get ahead of Kansas City, especially because they beat us. That game meant a lot. I've been saying that. What do we have to do? Well, we got to rely a lot on the run game when we're on the road in cold environments. We got to hope that the offensive line stays healthy so that we can lean on the run game. You get Achane back and he does even half of what he was doing before he left, you're in great shape because Mostert's a beast. Mostert is 4 touchdowns away from overtaking Ricky Williams for the most rushing touchdowns in a season in franchise history, which is amazing. And then on defense, you've got to find a way to replace that pass rush that you're losing with Jalen Phillips. They signed Jason Pierre-Paul. He's an older player. I think it's more of a depth move. But hey, maybe he has something in the tank. He's a local kid. Maybe he has something in the tank for a stretch run. He was a big name. He was great with the Giants. Hopefully he does something. And it's time for Agba to step up. Now, Agba in limited reps this year, Agba has really put up some good stats and put up some numbers and gotten some sacks. And I'm glad, Revo, that that's what it is, because that's a lot warmer than I thought. But Agba's been a good player. I mean, he got hurt last year. Agba's been a good player for us. And before, he got paid and people were down on him and this and that, he's a good pass rusher. He could be a good player. And don't forget AVG, Andrew Van Ginkel, who was absolutely beasting earlier in this year when we had those injuries. Don't forget about him either. So all in all, we've got a lot of promise here. Vic, what's up? Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vic. And by the way, guys, if you're in here and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit subscribe if you're in here. It's right here. It takes a second. Just hit subscribe to show some love and appreciation for what we do here on this channel. Hit subscribe right there. Hit subscribe, hit like, share the video with your friends, but help the channel grow and hit subscribe. Please smash subscribe. Let's get up to at least 1475 by the end of tonight. Will you be that 1475th? Just click it. But there's a lot of promise to this team. We're in a great position. But now it comes time for December football. And notoriously, in my lifetime, December football has been a problem. I don't think it will be as big a problem this year based on our schedule and based on the way this team is built, but it always could be. So I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. But I think those are the keys to us continuing to have a good push through December, set ourselves up with good seeding in the playoffs, and do well in the playoffs. That's what I think the goal is. And that's what I think we can do, and those are the keys to it. I want to be down in Miami for a home playoff game, and I'd love if that was a divisional game because we got the bye. Once you get into the playoffs, only a few more games, okay? But I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. Period. Let's go in and let's do this. Let's be resilient. Let's do it for Jalen Phillips. But let's stick to this run game. Let's be smart coaching. Let's be smart with the ball. Let's do it that way. Jacob, what's up? Fury fam in the building. Joe, what's good? Vic, what's good? Count your chickens, count your eggs. Hit subscribe. We're out here, man. But I got to introduce to you a man who wore a hoodie to a podcast. A man who's got khakis on with a football. This guy. You think you can mess with a guy like this? This guy didn't come to play games, bro. This guy came to give you an intro. Let's go. Let's go. G.
All right, here we go. 2 seconds on the play clock. You think they will nearly hear Herb Street? No, I don't think so. I think a Hail Mary would give him a good chance. All right, here we go. Tim Boyle, drop him back. He's going to heave it to the end zone. It's picked. Javon Holland, he's running. He's at midfield. Can he go all the way, Herb Street? No way. At the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. No way. I can't believe this. The 10. It's a pick six.
Yes. Greg, how hype were you when that happened, when that play happened, bro? Were you jumping up and down? What were you doing?
Pick six, I was kind of freaking out because the Dolphins were playing with snakes. The Jets were going to come, and they were coming. They were going to come snake bit you.
Yes.
Then there was a pick. I'm like, what are we doing? Just run the ball, kneel it, go to half, and then Jets come out. And I'm like, why aren't these idiots taking a knee here? They heave it up to the end zone. Now, I didn't expect a pick six. Javon Holland caught it. He started going. No Jets players anyway. He's gone. And after that pick six, the game was gone. The Jets were done after that. They gave up.
They really were. Yeah, and I think they did give up. We'll see what happens in a week, G, but they gave up. I think that was it for them. Yeah. Now, I want to bring in our little gallery here with Lucci and Shake, and I want to go right into what we all wait for every week now with what's up with this dude.
If the Dolphins win their next 3 games, which they should, If the Bills either lose the Chiefs game or the Cowboys game, Dolphins will clinch the division by Christmas because the Bills, even if they win their next 3, they'll finish 10-7, and we can lose our next 3 games. We'll still finish with a record. But
I love it. I that'll be a very Merry Christmas.
The very tough part is I'm undecided. Do I want the Bills to win to help the Dolphins maybe get the 1 seed? Do I want the Chiefs to win to help the Dolphins? I mean, at the end of the day, just win, baby. Just win.
Yeah, and just somebody lose that game, and I'll be happy, which somebody's going to. But listen, we got to get into
the good, the bad, the ugly.
What we got, Shay?
First thing I'm gonna do is toast to my PIMP, my pineapple and prosecco.
I love it.
Second thing I want to state, I will never root for the Bills again. I don't care if terrorists take my mom hostage and said the only way she will survive if I root for the Bills. I'm gonna say, Mom, I love you. It was a good run. Sorry, can't do it.
Oh my
God.
God.
Anyway, vaya con Dios. But
De Padre, de Hijo, de Espíritu Santos.
But no,
guy's getting Latin over here.
Over here we have, of course. Let's talk about the good.
Oh, I love that. I like that. All right, what's the good?
Of course, the Holland pick 6. Baby.
Yes, sir. Wasn't that amazing,
then,
Shake?
Huh?
Wasn't that amazing? Wasn't that an amazing play to watch?
Yeah, it was.
Right?
But for Jets fans, it wasn't.
7 sacks, baby.
Wow, bro, I didn't even realize that.
I mean,
yes, 7 sacks. Hey, listen, it's no coincidence that soon as we get Ramsey back, right?
Mm-hmm.
All our players are hitting home because at the end of the day, you either throw an interception or you get sacked, and coverage sacks is very important. I think that's what we were lacking. If we had Ramsey, I believe if we had Ramsey before, and, from the beginning, they would have had a lot more sacks because they were coming close. But at the end of the day, these players were getting free. So now that we have tight coverage, it's hard for quarterbacks to make their decision, and they're just taking the sack.
It makes sense, bro. It's true. It's great. It's coverage sacks. We need that bad. Ramsey's been an absolute revelation, bro.
Yes.
Like,
yes,
he's an amazing athlete, dude. Amazing.
Already 3 interceptions.
Amazing.
Of course.
The bad. Let's see. I like my man standing right there. He looks bad as hell. 2 INT. Yeah, dude. Not acceptable,
and
bro.
To us, he's been I think he's been second guessing himself, and I think he needs, like I said, I hope. I remember I forgot what week it was. I think it was probably against the Patriots where he audibled and caught his own play. I think he needs to take more control of the offense and say, look, McDaniels, I know you want me to do this, but I see something that the defense is showing me something different. He needs to be the eyes, say, look, I need to take this in a different direction and spread the ball more.
Mm-hmm.
I know Tyreek Hill wants to get to 2,000 yards, but we need to spread that ball more.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, bro. And that's and I gotta say, Shake, Tyreek being banged up, bro. He banged up his ankle now, it's taped up, his foot, he's got banged up hands. I know no one wants to hear this, especially him chasing the record, and he's a beast. But McDaniel, man, I mean, you got some really for opponents we should beat coming up. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't want him to get hurt or be slowed down. Maybe he should sit around. I don't think he will, but just a thought. Just a thought.
All right, and here's the other bad. They left the starters in too long. Look, we were up by so much. Did we really need to have players in? Did Tua really need to play the whole fourth quarter? You know what I'm saying? I think especially, which makes sense. I'll get into might as well go ahead and get into the ugly because they're going to coincide.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the ugly MetLife Field. That field,
bro, it's bad. It's bad, and that's another Achilles injury to another player on that field. It's just not good enough. Yeah, that was ugly, bro. And I was sitting there and I saw the cart come on. I saw him not getting up. I was like, oh, come on, bro.
And it was a
Please,
non-contact injury too, man.
Mm-hmm. It sucks, man. It sucks. I hear you, Shake. I hear you. That's the ugly.
Yeah,
That's the ugly. Oh, we don't have.
The
Oh,
ugly.
there we go. I was waiting for the ugly dude to pop up in the middle. I love that. I love how he's right in the middle of all of us, staring us down, Shake. So, Shake, you got some memes or what?
The Jalen Phillips. It's but like I said, they left I think they left the starters in there too long. I think if you're not playing for anything, you know what I mean, what's the sense of having them in the game?
Agree.
Especially with the field, how sloppy it looked, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it, Shake. I do. So what you got now after that, good, the bad, the ugly, and this game, I'm sure you got some memes this week, bro.
Of course. This is gonna Carolina Panthers fired their coach and they hired
wrong quarterback there,
Lucci.
Carolina.
First, they got rid of Wilkes. They got rid of Wilkes, who had a pretty decent showing last year, just to fire the guy they hired this year. What a joke!
David Tepper turning into Stephen Ross.
Yeah, what a
he's
joke!
He's like the richest. He's like the richest owner. He's like worth $15 billion or something like that.
Yeah, crazy. He's got a private jet and all that. He's going crazy out here, Shake.
He's like
going
Stephen
crazy.
Ross.
Yeah, he's like Magoo. What is?
By the way, hopefully we can see this Sunday.
What the? Bro, that's amazing. That's an amazing shot.
They're blocking each other. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
I don't think I've ever
Maybe
seen
it's
anything.
cold and they're trying to get home for huddle for warmth.
Bro, that's amazing. The Commanders are not in command of the huddle, sir. Commanders are not in command of their blocking assignments. They need it, bro. Dude, they have been pathetic.
Yeah. Only in Philly, man.
Yeah, only in Philly. You can't see a damn. Do you guys see? Well, I'll wait till Shake is done because he might have something on this.
All right. I saw this in the Dolphins den.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's being done about the officials aren't being held accountable for their calls or no calls. Players are getting fined doing silly stuff like the Tyreek Hill. He got fined for the phone shit. You know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
bro. Yeah, and the peace sign he's not even allowed to do anymore. But these guys can do whatever, mess up like crazy, and never get a penalty.
But like I said before, if let's say we're all neighbors, right, and I get a flat tire from a pothole, you don't wait until you get the flat tire to complain to City Hall, because at the end of the day, that's what I've been saying. We need to the NFL needs to put a stop to it now, because it was the Buffalo Bills. You know, as much as I hate them, it's bullshit. Because guess what? We could be in the playoffs, or we could be playing a critical game, and this shit is gonna come bite us in the ass again. It's gonna bite us in the ass again. Not if.
While we're on the subject,
When, it's not a if it's gonna bite us in the ass. It's when it's gonna bite us in the ass, and it's gonna bite us in the ass sometime later on this season. So, if you guys, if the people don't complain now, don't complain when it happens to us in the playoffs.
True. It happened to us already.
The refs are bad, but for the Bills fans, I have no sympathy for you bums once again, because we were crying about the refs. We got hold by that fourth and whatever play it was where Slay or Bradbury, whoever that was, grabbing him, no call. So I have no sympathy for the Bills fans, but as an NFL fan, I think it's total BS that Josh Allen had that, like, what his jersey got ripped for a horse collar, no call. There's a bunch of no calls, and I'm sick and tired of the BS calls. We need to start punishing these refs, suspending them, finding them, whatever we got to do, because as an NFL fan, it hurts the product.
So, bro, well said, Greg. Well friggin' said. I co-sign that. I do.
Yeah. So, and look, all I know is, like I said, it's not about having sympathy. It's about not shooting yourself in the foot, because it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
And when it happens in the playoffs, and that's the reason we're eliminated, don't go crying for me, Argentina.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
You're right. And watch those 4-letter words, sir. God, I'm gonna have to give you a swear jar, bro. You're mixing up the
last but not least, the Bills unveiled their new logo for the year.
Yeah, bro. The Bills are on a downward spiral right now. Man.
Rods.
They played pretty good, but they're on a downward spiral regardless, man. The same as us. We played pretty good against a couple teams. No one gave us any. And by the way, Denver is now a winning team, I'm pretty sure. So we have beaten a winning team. Not only
We
have
put
we beaten
70
them,
on a winning team.
yeah, so enough of that crap. Did you guys see Shaq Lawson go at the fan in Philly and push him?
Yep.
And they're saying that the fan threatened his life, which I believe. So, man, fans, to my opinion on that is, yeah, players can't be assaulting fans and this and that's part of the game, but don't be threatening somebody's life, bro.
Exactly.
And their family, bro. If you can't take the smoke, especially if you're right up front, like, bro, I don't got no sympathy for that fan.
I mean, he said it himself that I believe it was Shaq Lawson or Jordan Phillips, one of the two. They're all fine for the trash talk, but once you make it about them and their family and like the
Bro.
Yeah, that I mean, you shouldn't put your hands on a fan, but like, I probably would have done the same thing. You're not going to talk about my mama or my family like that.
Right. No, I get it, bro. I get it. And I believe it. G. So, yeah, thanks for the meme, Shake. I love it. G, thank you. Now we're going to listen. This is the next phase. The show's going to change, man. We're going to be doing one at a time panel people, but we're going to set it off with Lucci, man. Lucci, I want to hear your take from the game. I want to hear your take overall this week and what's on your mind, my brother.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I want to open with To His Side Hotline finally said something I agree with, because the Bills should have won the game. The refs didn't. They had but it wasn't like when we played them. The Bills, and as much as I hate to admit it, Josh Allen, he played lights out, man. He had one drive at the end where he was 3 consecutive times threw the ball in the dirt. That kind of killed everything, but they really did have an opportunity to win that game. If I picked them to win in the football pool. Had they have won, I'd have won the $600 pot. No Monday night, no Sunday. Everything else is irrelevant because everybody's picks were the same after that, and it cost me the money. But much as I hate to admit it, I put the blame on Gabe. Man, I know situational football. I'm not a football, breakdown tape, but I know if in a pressure situation, everybody on offense knows they're bringing the blitz. If you get behind your guy right away and there's no help over the top, screw that route. You keep running. And Josh Allen recognized that and made the snap decision immediately and threw the ball right where he would have. But if he'd have waited a couple seconds, he'd have saw him bend and he could have still ended the game. But nobody's perfect. What are you going to do? But
it's hard because that's like Tua.
The refs didn't have their calling didn't have any bearing like it did on our game, anyways. But as far as the Dolphins, what's more important? I'm happy. The Jets is my most hated team. I'm glad we destroyed them. Just a little. I'm glad. One thing I'll say I like about McDaniel, even though I still have a bunch of concerns and stuff, he's still going for it, and it's costing us. He's still. It's obvious he's won every single coin toss. I wasn't here last week, so I couldn't say it against when
Raiders.
we played the Raiders, but we won it again on the road up there in New York against the Jets. This is a team, that has a good defense. It's obvious, painfully obvious now. If he wins the toss, he's deferring. I can't for the life of me understand why he does that every single time. I was always a fan, and I am a fan of deferring, but there's certain situations I really feel like we should give ourselves a chance to jump out ahead and let other guys play catch up. I just don't know. But he sticks to the run. These past couple of games,
yes,
I've noticed he doesn't shy away from the run anymore. He's sticking to the run. I like that a lot. And he's you see in the end, look, that's what happens. You wear a defense down, and look, Mostert, it was a tough game. It wasn't a shiny game like he had a lot of this season. It was a rough and tumble sort of run game. But then by the end, he was breaking. And Achane, I don't see no reason to rush him back. Let the kid get rest. Wilson's back. Wilson looks to be back in his regular form.
Bro, he looked good.
Yeah, some people forget about how – and again, last year we abandoned the run so early and we didn't run the ball like we should have.
Right.
But just like I recognized Mostert's talent last year, I saw Wilson. He's a bruiser, man.
He is, bro.
He's a nose down. He's a good runner. So
like
it kind of
him.
is what I think it's a better fit because now we got a guy that's he come in and he bruised a little bit and he's a hard runner. And he'll shake and bake too, but he's more of a, put his shoulders down and punish people. So
You know
that's
what I like? Yeah. You know what I like him, Lucci, is like he'll like put his shoulders down and punish people, but he could still hit the hole on an outside run pretty nice and pummel somebody. I just like that style of running, bro. It works.
Yeah. It's good, man. They complement each other, I feel like.
Yes.
So I don't feel like rush HM back for what? The kid's
I
a
agree.
talent, obviously. I just let him rest. Wilson seems to be back in full mode. So I mean, just keep that like that.
I agree.
You know what worries me with this Tua interception thing? I forget the gentleman's name already. He already said something, but he asked about the interceptions. He asked you, do you think he could fix it?
Yeah, Miami kid Jay.
Okay, Miami kid. He made a good point. And I was watching, and I'm starting to wonder.
Oh, you want me to drop the link?
Yeah, drop it. Start lining them up in the back.
All right.
What are you thinking, Lucci?
So again, we're getting to that. We're in the second half of the season where the book is out and all the, super flashy stuff has been taken away. And
right.
Now, if you remember last year, Tua wasn't throwing a lot of interceptions before the second half of the season. He was bombing Baghdad the whole time. Buffalo, the miraculous comeback, the Ravens. That's what he was doing in the first half of last season as well. And the second half, now you could say it was, the concussion. Who knows? But I kind of see like he's doing the same thing. That game against Pittsburgh last year, there was like 6 interceptions. They just plain dropped. Where he kind of
yes.
And I'm not saying it's because Tua is just interception prone to throwing interceptions. I'm just saying maybe he's sticking to the plan a little too much. And when he does and things don't, I mean, because if you've noticed, his interceptions have gone up immensely in this latter part of the season.
They have.
And so I'm hoping that we can make some adjustments and get that fixed because that's kind of making me nervous. It's starting to become a trend, Think about it. How many picks he's throwing, these, pick sixes. And the Giants, he had one. Was it the Giants or was it Carolina? One of them? No, it was the Giants. And that was getting close to the end of the half or whatever. And he's just got to, like you said, Larry, he's got to calm down. I think he gets a little bit too nervous.
I think he gets nervous. I think he also, bro, because like you said, he's bombing like crazy the first couple months of the season because that offense is clicking. Everybody's fresh. No one is really ready for it. No one's ready for the speed that we have, and it opens up a lot. Then he gets frustrated, I feel like. He gets frustrated later. And when it's not clicking and it's not working because defenses have figured us out to an extent and defenses are cutting things off. He goes ahead and forces it anyway, and he forces the issue, and he goes ahead and makes the throws anyway, despite what the defense is doing, and it causes problems later in the year. He's got to just learn to be more patient and just accept, look, they figured us out a little bit. This is going to be a slog-it-out game. Like, bro, the Jets game ended up being that way. It was a run, grinded-out game, which makes sense, and sometimes he just got to accept that instead of trying to force the issue too much. That's my take on it. I'm not a quarterback coach. I don't know, but that's my take on it,
I mean, it also, I think a lot of it has to do with adding to his frustration is he can't extend plays.
Right.
I mean,
no, it's not his thing.
Like you said, if he runs, he's diving head first. It's awkward when he lands. He fumbled the one game. He can't really extend plays. The way he extends plays, like Shake said a few weeks ago, is like how Brady extended plays. Finding your guy and let it fly, the quick release.
Yes.
That's what it comes down to for him. And I feel like rather than take the sack, he just tries to, but he's picking the wrong people to throw the ball to. That kind of has me nervous moving forward. We'll see what happens. But this is another reason why I feel like if we win the coin toss, receive the ball sometimes. That's going to take some pressure. If we run up there and score quick, now they're playing catch up. And our defense is coming together at the right time. It sucks. Phillips went out, but we still got plenty of guys, man. Like you said,
And we signed JPP, so he's
Melvin Gordon,
what I was about to
JPP's old, sac passe, not boule to all the Haitians out there.
yeah. You down with JPP? Yeah, you know me.
Right. You know what? Melvin Gordon, is Melvin Gordon still there? Who knows what the hell he's doing? Maybe he'll.
I know he was here last year. Was it? What the hell happened? I guess he just.
I don't know, man. But maybe he's just waiting for his opportunity. And then, like you said, Bub, we got guys. We got a defense. So,
right.
Sometimes receive and then let them play catch up, and that'll alleviate some. I mean, it's just, to me, common sense. It has nothing to do with football, even just on a psychology level. That'll alleviate some of the pressure on them. We're not playing catch up.
I think it's game dependent like that. Like the Jets, I kind of get kicking it because they got a good defense and a terrible offense. So you figure, we can stop their. That makes sense.
I'll buy that. That's okay.
Right. Like other teams, though, I agree with you, bro. Like get out to a lead, especially like, bro, teams with a good offense.
Philadelphia.
Like yes,
Philly.
Example. Bro, we got to make them play catch up instead of vice versa. I agree 100%.
Bills. We know Josh Allen will make a mistake.
Yes.
Teams like you got to do it, man. Receive the ball, run, especially if you're on the road.
Yes.
Even
I agree with you.
Sometimes. I mean,
at home, I think it's even better to receive it sometimes because now you got the crowd. You don't have to worry about the crowd. The crowd's not pumped up against you. You got room to operate. Go put points on the board, make them play catch up and play from behind all game. Our defense is a good coverage defense, which leads to sacks. So we like pinning our ears back when they want to play. Against the Jets, I get it because you're on the road. You don't want to fire up their D, let them get a big stop first and get the crowd into it. You give them the ball. They're going to screw up. It's going to be a 3 and out. Now we get the ball after the half and operate. But I agree with you on some other. I just think, bro, this is the way I think in general about life is always like, everything's on a case-by-case basis all the time. Because if you're not, if you're not case-by-case, then you ain't really thinking. So I agree with you. Like, if he's always just going to defer, there's a problem there. He should be looking at the case-by-case, game-by-game analysis. And I agree.
And what Ty Bless said, I get it. Believe me, my entire life, I've been a fan of deferring. Give us the ball at the half. It is nice. But sometimes it's better to get the lead, especially if we have a high-powered offense. I mean, it's slowed down a teeny bit, not a lot, but we still have a high-powered offense we're explosive. So making these people play catch-up matters. When we get the ball, we defer, we get the ball back at the half, and then we do something. Now it worked out, but anybody who says, oh, who cares because it worked out, miss me with that. Because when we should have punted, but we went for it, and he threw the pick six, now what are you doing? I mean, if it didn't turn out the way it did in Javon Holland, who when I saw him intercept it, I knew it was a touchdown. Anybody who knew it in college used to return kicks. That much space, that much open. Dylan can confirm that. I was screaming touchdown the minute he caught it. I knew it. But that's not going to happen every time. And if we're playing a formidable opponent that has a good offense and we do stuff, and don't tell me we don't do stupid stuff like that when we play good, because we do. It's not like, we're playing the Jets that we'll just try anything because they can't score anyways. That's how Mike McDaniel plays football. He goes for it a lot, man, and it's kind of nothing.
Well, the thing is, to me, like
hold on, real quick, Larry. This is what stuff like the Jets do. Desperate teams. That Hail Mary, going for it, just some wild stuff. That's what a desperate team does. We do stupid stuff like that regularly, and we are not desperate at all by any means. But that's how we play football. You guys all know I've been complaining about the whole season. Sometimes kick the field goal, take the points, extend your lead, especially if you have the lead and you're getting the ball back after the half. Why not make it a 2-possession game? It's just so stupid to me, man. You know what I mean? So getting the ball back after the half is an advantage sometimes, but the way Mike McDaniel's coaches, it could be a disadvantage.
No, I think that's why it's a case by case, like I said, with going for it, for instance, at the end of the half, man. Like in a certain situation, in some situations, it makes sense to go for it at the end of the half if you got good, field position, depending on the game, how it's going, how you're playing. But in that particular situation, pinned to the 13-yard line, against a team with a good defense, an opportunistic defense, where the only possible way they're going to get back into the game is on defense, creating a turnover on a short field or taking a pick six. and you're in control of the game winning 10-0, and you have a history of potentially turning it over. Like, that's where the case-by-case thing. And look, I think McDaniel could probably grow. He's still a young coach, but these are the things, like you said, Lucci, like at the end of the game, he started leaning on the run game more. He's leaned on the run game more this year. So he can learn. He's got to learn some of these, pick your spots with some of these decisions. This can't all be that way. Now, I don't care against the Jets. We won. It was great. Like you said, Holland returns it. We got Washington coming up. We got these teams. But, man, at some point, we got Dallas coming in the building. And when you got Dallas coming in the building, you better have a good strategy figured out. You can't just go by the standardized playbook you got. You got to make some game time decisions, in-game decisions that are on a case-by-case basis,
Yeah.
So
I one more real quick before you go on. I agree with Ty. I've said it, Ty, 1,000 times, bro. Mike McDaniels is so smart, and then I think they boosted his head up a little bit with all the McGenius talk. He doesn't stick to the basics. The guy's phenomenal. I mean, it's obvious. He can draw up plays, and he really has a genius way of thinking, the way he designs plays, and that's all cool. But you got to stick to the basics. You put your twist on it, sure, but he outthinks himself. It's just you can stick to the basics, and we got the guys. We got the defense. We have the personnel where you can stick to the basics, and we can still win. Right. I feel like he does so much. He puts a little too much on Tua, and I credit Mike McDaniel a lot with the Tua picks, or because you're having him do so. He doesn't really have to do any of that. If you just let the game flow, Tua has changed my opinion as far as being able to throw the ball on time when people are running the deep route. Tua puts the ball on the money. Now, if you just stick to the basics, those are going to open up. Mostert's that guy. They're going to have to bring them guys in. And we've seen it a bunch of times this year. When Tyreek or someone gets behind somebody, even Wilson a couple times, man, Tua hits him on the money for the touchdown. But they're starting to force too much of that. McDaniel is, I feel like. And Tua wants to please McDaniel because he bought into him. He supported him. He big upped him. So I feel like Tua wants to, not make him proud, but you know what I mean? He wants to show him, man, thanks for your support, and show him that he was right, and thanks for – but we're doing too much. I think McDaniel does a little too much, man. And it puts too much pressure on Tua.
Yeah.
Personally, that's how
and like Bob Marley said, every day a bucket goes in the well, one day the bottom's going to drop out.
Yo, but Shake, what you thinking about Wilkins now, man? I mean, he's been making an impact, bro.
Who?
Wilkins, bro. Christian Wilkins.
No. I said one more thing, but since you brought that up, I wasn't here last week. Larry really disappointed me when he was bringing up his opening to last week's show. He brought all the clutch players. Wilkins was the clutchest player on defense at the end of that game. He ran down. He missed a sack, got up, ran about 30 yards up the field, chased Renfro down, got the tackle from behind.
Yeah, he did, bro.
Another sack, then came back, was tackling Buddy when he threw the interception. Man, he was lights out. He's been lights out. And Shake.
Overrated, but that's all right.
I'm going to need you to say, you know what? You might be a little bit right, but I'm still not on board. But
he's been playing good, though, Shake.
He's overrated.
Beautiful, Larry.
I like Wilkins. I like
Larry.
You call it better.
30 seconds.
I like what you call it better. Zach Seiler.
Brother, he's been here since day one. That merits a 30-second timeout. Get out of here. You gotta mute him for 30 seconds.
You crazy or what, man? You don't see how he has made an impact. He has made an impact, Shake.
Yeah, see, Shake's still mad about his trade.
I mean, you can't say nothing about it, bro. He's been good. Gee, what do you think of this, bro?
Listen. Again,
Wilkins.
Again, you got
Wilkins.
He's playing better. He's getting more sacks because
Greg, pardon me,
the coverage is there, and two, he's replaceable.
I don't think so right now, bro.
Yeah,
I know.
He's all right.
I don't think so, bro.
I really get better, man.
He's okay.
I think he's.
Greg, what's the call, Greg? What do you say?
Greg, what? Come on.
Or you with Shakes?
I think Wilkins has been improving. We haven't seen much of him early in the season, but now he's starting to show his vital role. I don't know if he's worth the money, but if
he ain't no $30 million, I could tell you that.
Give him the money.
Okay.
There we go.
And I can't say improving because I've always seen his potential. Now, maybe it took a minute because the new scheme and whatever.
Yeah,
but since he's got acclimated to that, he's in top form.
Yeah.
And everybody was slow starting except Andrew Van Ginkel. He's the only one that hit the ground running behind this. Thank you, Miss Fins.
Miss Fins in the house. Thank you very much.
Listen, Christian Rickens got much heart and soul as my ex-mother-in-law.
Your ex-mother-in-law got a hell of a lot of heart and soul. Damn, bro. I didn't know she was Huey Lewis in the news.
You got
heart and soul. Man.
I'll drink to that. Jenna, pour me a shot for Shakes. I got to get as drunk as he is because he's having too much fun without me.
How's the TV? Did you get the television yet? This is the cat.
Miami kids saying Christian gonna get tagged.
Apparently, Shake cracked his TV the other night.
How'd you crack your TV, bro?
Huh?
You cracked your TV?
The cat got in the way of the TV.
Oh, the cat. Well, that happens. Cats crack things. Cats knock things over. That's what cats do, bro.
See this little.
You smoking a cigar now? This dude's lighting up right now. I mean, damn.
No. See this little tube?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a little glass tube.
Okay.
Little glass, like real thin. If you drop it, it falls on the floor. It breaks. You know what I mean? It's very fragile.
Yeah.
The cat was in front of the TV. I threw the tube so he could get out of my way. It hit the TV and it cracked the TV. I'm like, God damn, these TVs are cheap.
That's crazy, bro. What? That's annoying as hell. What were you watching? Were you watching something good?
I was watching Florida versus Florida State. I was calling the game with Greg.
Oh, there's G.
The truth comes out, Larry.
Yeah, that's what really happened.
No, actually, no. Real talk. Hey,
that's
Greg.
What really happened, Florida.
Greg,
that's
you
why your
TV's
TV's cracked.
When we lost, did I lose it? Do I lose it when we lose when I call games? Do I lose it?
No, I mean you're upset, but not like.
Yeah, I'm calm.
Not break his TV upset.
But,
not break. That's the cat that'll do that to him. Not the.
Now, if we were lost to that trash team in Coral Gables,
that's a little out of line, Larry. That is a little bit out of line, you know.
Hey, you heard me? If we lose to that trash team in Coral Gables, then I'll get upset.
But Tallahassee don't bother
years. You can save enough money to buy a new television every time that every 4 years.
We playing y'all next year, so
yeah,
I can't wait for that.
We'll have to get together for that game. If I come over there or whatever, I'll come over there to your side to watch.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Man.
Okay, Ty Bless knows what time it is.
Apparently, yeah. Ty Bless is.
It's all about the U, my guy.
There's a lot of
all
Kings
that
fans
fourth quarter
channel,
people throw up. We started that. That comes from the U, baby. Whenever you see a team throw up the 4, we started that. And everybody jocks our style. The turnover chains, we started that.
Turnover first?
We got the most swag, and we started swag in college football. Period. There's no denying that.
You see what I mean? They're about as delusional as the Jets fans in New Jersey.
Whoa, Larry, you're old enough to know. Hold on, Larry, you're old enough to know. You're old enough to know. Listen, it is what it is. Michael Irvin and those guys, man, we started.
No, he's right.
That.
He's right.
You know, it is what it is. We're coming off the plane in the camouflage. And everybody's got on. Man, we started all that stuff, man.
I remember, bro. You're. I mean, you're right. That is Miami had that personality swag early, man.
It's the truth.
Yo,
had their run.
Oh man,
that was Miami.
Yeah,
and Jimmy Johnson.
They called us the convicts. Ty knows, and when
they did. There's a documentary on that too.
The Catholics.
Hey, by the way, did you know?
Yes.
When Canes play the Notre Dame, is called Catholics versus convicts. You know what they call Notre Dame game when they play Alabama?
I already know what you're gonna say.
No.
Catholics versus cousins.
See, that's it. And Alabama started. Let's keep it real when we're talking incest and weirdo stuff. I mean, you think of Alabama. You know, I don't know if we can talk like that on this channel. Hold on, let's take that back. Strike that from the record, Larry.
Strike from the record, stricken. So stricken. So, what do you guys?
Virginia could be considered.
Well, yeah, that's.
But
I thought
Alabama,
he was going to say.
We know those are some backwood.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say West Virginia at first, but he said Alabama. Yeah. So, but what do you guys? You got an upcoming game, man. Washington Commanders in Washington. We should line up and just beat them. I heard Tua on suicide, whoever Michael K is today, say something that like, Howell's going to own Ramsey. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Saw that earlier. You marked that on your pad like you were in trial.
I'm going to write that down and file that for later. What the hell's going on out here?
I
bro?
wouldn't.
Listen, they're done. Robinson is a pretty okay running back, and they got McLaren, whatever his name is. He's a pretty good receiver. Come on, man. Those guys are dead as fried chicken. I know you don't count your eggs before they hatch. Well, I'm counting.
I don't blame you for counting at all, but shoot.
Washington. Come on, man. Howell, forget about it. He was nice in the beginning of the season. The book is out on him.
Yeah, true.
It's over. Forget about it. He's not that guy. Sorry.
No. They fired their OC.
Yeah, he's over. That's it. I don't. In what 56 degrees? They said it's 53 in Daytona Beach right now.
No, 56 is no big deal at all, man.
Yeah,
I'm not worried. I thought it might be cold. It's cold right now, but I think it's going to warm up. And it's the south of me anyway. But
I mean, it is what it is. That's an easy work to me, my opinion. I don't know what these guys think.
I think I'm kind of worried because it's December, and the Dolphins usually don't play good in December. But however, Sam Howell, I mean, he just throws the ball all over the place. He's the most sacked quarterback in the league. Their defense is bad. I think we should beat them, but December Dolphins crash. That's the only thing that's worrying me.
Well, I think this is a look. If we're ever going to get ourselves right in December and really prove that we can hang and we can be, a deep playoff running team and position ourselves for the playoffs, this season is set up perfectly to do it. You have, 3 games that are winnable, including then a home game versus the Jets, and you got the Cowboys at home, which is really the first game we've had against a real good opponent that's at home. If there's ever a December that you could show that you belong, it's this December. If they can't get it done, it's a show me season. I told you guys that from jump. There's a show me season. If you can't show me that you could hang in December with this schedule, we got deeper issues than I realized. I mean, that's all I'm going to say. Period.
Ty says 17-3. He thinks we went out. I said too, call me delusional. I commented on somebody's posting it done the other day. They asked, what are the, and I think we'll win out. Personally, I don't think that, I mean, it's asking a lot. I don't think Dallas is as advertised, most susceptible to lose to. Go ahead.
Dallas is similar to us.
Yeah, Baltimore and Washington are the only other teams that we travel to. The rest are home games.
Baltimore is the only game that I'm concerned with. The rest of them, I feel like, and Buffalo, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But Buffalo, I mean, who cares how they play with anybody else? They play like an all Madden team every time they play us.
Yeah, it's true. It's
everybody counted them out. I picked them to beat Philly, and ultimately they should have beat Philly. And they went in there and played. I mean, Josh Allen put up 400 and something yards by himself. We're not talking, he put up 400 something yards.
You're right.
And 81 rushing. And 5 touchdowns. I mean, he did all that or 4, whatever he had. So, I mean, the guy ain't a bum. He might make some inopportune interceptions, or he might, but so does Tua. I mean, so it's not like we have a guy that is mistake-free and they don't. I mean, that's it's a good matchup. But I still feel like we'll beat them. It's at home. I'll be there, so we'll bring that energy down there. Larry, I wish you were coming. I know you want to wait for a playoff game.
Yeah,
but if the playoffs come, I'll be there when they go to that too.
Yeah. No, we make the playoffs. I'm gonna get down there, man. So and I think we are, and I think hopefully we get a home game, which would be nice. But look, these games, I think Baltimore is a tough test. I mean, we've been much better against them as of recent than we were the last 10 years before that. Right. But it's a tough game. I think the biggest saving grace for me as far as Baltimore is concerned in the overall seeding standpoint is they're in that AFC North, which is going to beat each other up the rest of the year. So I think they'll take some L's because of that. The Chiefs, unfortunately, have a really easy schedule in front of them. So if we don't win out or only drop one, I don't think we're getting that 1 seed, which hurts because that means the road runs through cold, loud Kansas City. Although I don't think Kansas City is the same Kansas City of the last couple of years, they're still a really good team. And at home, I think it's going to be harder to play.
But that'll be a championship game.
Yes.
If we win out, just say it pans out, we win out, Kansas City wins out. We'll have the second seed.
Yes.
And if Kansas City, which means we'll have a home game, you'll be down here and we'll be
Yes.
celebrating.
Yes.
But do
Row
I
12
dare-
East. But if that happens and Kansas City ends up getting upset in the game they play before they play us, the road to the Super Bowl comes through Miami.
Good point.
We
That's
just have
really
to win
good
out.
point. Yeah, that's
And
a really
like
good
you
point.
said, Larry, what always happens when we have our fate in our own hands, it already happened this season.
Yes.
A
yes.
few times.
Yeah.
We fold. Every
You're right.
time we fold.
You're right.
And it's not all on Tua. He might make some bad. McDaniel worries me more than anybody. I feel like we could get it done with Tua. With Mostert, with the defense we have, I'm not a huge Tua guy. Everybody knows that. But I believe he's competent enough. He's good enough. He's not just competent, man.
Right.
Tua's
Right.
can
He's
make
good.
the
He's a good
splash
player.
plays. He is. And we have a great running game, and we have a formidable defense and a great receiving corps. What is there to hold us back with all the talent we have?
Really,
The
nothing,
coach.
bro.
I'm not worried about Fangio.
No,
I'm worried about McDaniel.
We're gonna
see what he's gonna do.
We're gonna see. I mean, we're gonna see.
Do
Show
I
me
dare
something.
say we root for Buffalo against the Chiefs in hopes to get the 1 seed? I don't know. I think that game's no matter who wins or loses, the win-win. But do I dare
Listen.
say we have to root for those jabronis?
No.
Listen,
Hold
I
on,
rooted
hold
for
on,
Buffalo
hold on,
last year.
hold on. And let me
I
straighten
rooted
this.
for Buffalo last year. Hold on, real quick. I rooted for
Okay.
Buffalo last year to get into the playoffs, and I had to take an Ace Ventura shower. I'm not doing that again.
Okay, so let me straighten this out with Ty Bless real quick. This is what I said, Ty Bless. If we win out and Kansas City wins out, that means we'll beat the Ravens and they will have a worse record than us. You understand you see what I'm saying? Because I know what you mean. They have the same record as us, but we play them. So if we win out, that means we beat the Ravens and they have a worse record than us. Therefore, we have the second seed. If Kansas City loses and we win out, we'll have the first seed.
Yes.
So
Yes.
our destiny, Ty, is in our hands. If we win out, but we can't control Kansas City. If we win out, we're guaranteed the second seed, period. If Kansas City loses, we'll have the first seed.
You're
our
right.
destiny is in our own hands. Baltimore don't have anything to do with anything if we win out.
Yeah,
So
because
we'll
that
see
means
what
we
happens.
beat them. That means we beat them,
That
obviously.
means we beat Kansas. We play
Look how funny
Baltimore.
this is. Read this. Look, Larry.
That's great. That's another great one. I just love the guy's face when he's looking up again. Jets. Sorry, sir. Have a nice day. Ah,
I
Good.
think Buffalo's going to beat Kansas City. Kansas City ain't like you said, Larry. They're not that. They're not. They can't. Their receivers can't catch a cold in a snowstorm. They're dropping everything.
yeah, I mean, look, it's going to come down to the thing that I want to see from Miami at this point. The thing that I really want to see from them is, can you rise to the occasion in big moments on the offensive side of the ball? I'm not worried about defense because I think Jalen Ramsey certainly can do that. And I think he brings an energy to that defense that is really going to, be in pivotal situations. They're going to rise to the occasion and be championship caliber players. I haven't seen that yet. Not saying it won't happen. I think it can happen. It will happen. It needs to happen. I got to see that from Tua. I got to see that from Tyreek. I got to see that from those guys because against KC coming back, I mean, Tua didn't get it done, and there's been other games like that. But then, he got it done against Buffalo earlier in the season last year. He got it done against Baltimore later in the game. But I need that killer instinct that Tyreek again dropped another really nice pass in the end zone against the Jets. Look, I'm not sitting here trashing Tyreek or trashing Tua. I'm just simply stating a fact that in order to get past those upper echelon teams, we have got to shine in those situations when they don't and capitalize when they make a mistake. You see what happened with Buffalo and Philly. That was just a great game back and forth. And what you saw was Josh Allen putting the team on his back and playing at an insane level, but then the Eagles doing the same thing when they needed to, and Hurts doing it, and even the kicker kicking that long field goal doing it. I mean, what worries me is, and I was thinking about this when the Eagles kicked that field goal. What worries me is you get into a game like that, but it's a playoff game. Do you trust Sanders to kick? A 56. I mean, I'm not trying to say we don't have it. I'm just saying if I have a concern, it is, do our guys rise to the, because you have guys like Adam Vinatieri. Like, it's not just that you have a prolific offense. It's do you have clutch players, and that could be kickers, quarterbacks, defenders, running backs, receivers. Our guys have got to rise to the occasion in the biggest moments in order to be champions. That's what champions do. We have the talent. We have the record. We have it set up for us. Will they rise to the occasion? That's all that remains to be seen. And I hope it happens. And it can happen. I have full faith it can. The question is, will it? That's it. Will it? That's what I think. And I'm waiting to see. Like, it's exciting to see. It's exciting to take that ride regardless, to see if it will happen, But that's where I'm at with it. And, officiating, like you said, Shake, I mean, that'll bite us. I mean, I hope that doesn't come into play against us. That would be rough. But also, you get the home field, whistle a lot of times. And so we want to be at home as much as we can. And then, there's no excuses from that point on. And let's face it, there's a lot of talk about Mahomes and these guys, but they've fallen sometimes in certain situations too. So we need to just rise to the occasion when they drop the ball, which does happen. Look at Josh Allen. Played lights out against the Eagles, but at the end with that Gabe Davis play, whether it's on Davis or whether it's on him, they didn't connect. So it does happen to the best of them, even when they're playing a great game. So it's not just on our guys. It doesn't just happen to us. But, it's something to really watch and keep an eye on because it's really important, quite frankly. So I think that's where we are, guys. I'm excited about this game coming up against Washington. Too. I expect us to win, but I predict us to win. That doesn't mean it's guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed in this league. It's any given Sunday. But let's hope our guys get it done because it goes a long way if we can get that done. It just does.
Yeah, by the way, this Thursday on the happy hour, me and my man P. Lucci, we're gonna break it down, matchups, and we're gonna talk about games of interest and everything, things like that. We're gonna
Shake, give him a little promo. Tell him what the show's about. Tell him what the segments look like. I mean, and it's a revamped Thursday night show. So Shake, give him the logo. I'm gonna promote that logo. Let's talk about the Thursday
happy
show.
Hour.
Man. I'm hyped.
Happy hour. Take a shot on Thursday.
Shot time.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
With me and Pia Lucci, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is it? You got the logo on the right.
There we go. Look at that logo, yo. See, I love that. I love how it's up there like that. It's great. You're gonna have it up there on Thursday, bro. I absolutely dig it. The Finn's Happy Hour Thursdays at 7, man. With
we're gonna talk. Like I said, we're gonna talk about first. We're gonna talk about the games of interest. The teams that stand in our way as far as seeding, because there's some teams in our way. Then we'll break up the coaching battles. Like for instance, it's gonna be McDaniel versus who knows because they fired their defensive coordinator. We'll talk about their new defensive coordinator and what that means for us. Mm-hmm. And of course, Bieniemy, who's trying to be a head coach in the NFL, he wants to make a name for himself. He's helped a lot with the development of their quarterback. Right, I forgot his name's escaped me right now.
Howell.
Washington quarterback.
Sam Howell.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's gonna be a hell of a game, and like I said, we'll talk about for instance, we'll talk about we'll have the decks here, 2 decks. Okay, like for instance, Washington has the home field advantage, so that's one thing deck in their favor. The weather will probably be another chip in their favor. You know what I mean? Talent, we have talent will be in our chip. You know what I'm saying? The defensive coordinator, it's gonna be like I said. I think Fangio versus Bieniemy. I think Fangio has been around the block, so I think it's gonna be a hard out for Bieniemy. You know what I mean? If it was Andy Reid versus Vic Fangio, it'll be a little more of a chess match, but you know what I mean?
It makes sense, but you guys are going to go through and break down like who has the advantage in each category, and you guys are going to drink a little bit, a little happy hour, and break down the games and break down the previews, and also look at key matchups that affect the Dolphins every weekend, right? So if you want to know who to root for, people post a rooting guide up. They post rooting guides up on the forums. You guys are going to give them the rooting guide, who to root for, what it means. They're going to have a couple drinks. They're going to preview it. It's a revamped Thursday show, the Finn's Happy Hour. I'm going to be tuning in. I hope everybody tunes in Thursday to these guys. It's going to be dope. And guys, if you haven't done so and you're still in here after this whole hour and 15, you're still in here watching us, do me a favor. Hit subscribe real quick. Can you please hit subscribe right this minute? Just click. It's right here. Click subscribe. Takes a second. Just tap it. Subscribe. Click subscribe to this channel, man. The channel's growing. Channel's building. And I'm almost freed in January. If we can get our ducks in a row, we'll be back at it. With this
just in time for the playoffs.
Yeah, which keep us running, man. Keeps this StreamYard going and everything else. So make sure you hit subscribe to get ready for our epic return to YouTube partnership. But tune in Thursday to these cats, man. And
also, the playoff picture, which is, I mean, I know you kind of got around to that, but we'll be doing like kind of the playoff picture as it stands coming into this week and kind of say, like you said,
for sure,
who wins, how wins, what wins. And so we can keep an eye on the seeding, you know. This way we'll kind of know who we're gonna play if things keep panning out the way it is. But Shake came up with a great show or a great idea for the show.
Shake is out here, man, just killing it, just slaying it with all the ideas, man. Shake is the man with the ideas behind the controls a lot of times, man, behind the boards that you guys don't even realize. But look, man, I appreciate it, Miss Fins too, guys. Hit subscribe.
Make sure you checking her out in the mornings, Miss Fins. She's set 5 days a week. So if you want that early Dolphin content, she's the one. And then League Wide Wednesdays with this man right here, Color. Every Wednesdays around 8 o'clock. Go check her out, man.
Yeah, man. Miss Fins, I put her on a lot of times with my morning espresso when I'm like half awake, whatever. I throw Miss Fins on. I don't always talk, but I throw her on to just get the take on the Dolphins and whatnot. I love that morning show. So check her out, man. And check out all the content creators in Dolphins land, man. We all show a lot of love, and we're all behind the team. So it's great stuff. Go Fins on Sunday, man. And we'll talk to you guys on Thursday. These guys will see you, and I'll see you probably after the game, everybody. So we're out, man, and signing off, and talk to you guys soon. Peace out.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing.